Hey, what's up, Earth? It's Spaceman Matt here to talk about the third episode of the 12th season of Doctor Who, Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. We finally get a halfway decent episode of Doctor Who. I think the first since Chibnall took over as showrunner, at least. This is also probably the best attempt at a historical adventure for the new series. Nikola Tesla is one of my few historical heroes. Much of the electronics of today owe something to Tesla's discoveries. The internet and the PC probably wouldn't have existed without Tesla, so I wouldn't have had a chance to have my YouTube channel, which some may think would have not have been a bad thing, but I digress. Among other things, this episode explores the rivalry between Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison, which was a real thing. Tesla had broken away from Edison, who had a tendency to exploit his workers. The AC current delivery system that Tesla invented allowed electricity to travel great distances from a centralized power source. Edison's direct current does not allow energy to travel long distances, and if Edison had prevailed in getting the public to believe that his DC current was better, or if Tesla had never been born, if we were going to use electricity, there would have to be a mini power plant on everybody's block. This story also features a run-of-the-mill alien invasion plot. In real life, Tesla did claim to have picked up radio signals from Mars and was, of course, ridiculed a bit for it. In this story, the signal belongs to aliens, who, upon discovering Tesla, sent a probe to observe him. When they realized that Tesla's genius would be useful in helping them to reverse engineer a lot of the stolen tech from other aliens and the Silurians of Earth, which was never quite explained, just a little fan service inserted there in my opinion. The Doctor manages to defeat the aliens by jury-rigging Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower, enabling to create an electric bolt big enough to destroy the invading spaceship. Wardenclyffe in real life was an experiment of Tesla's that would not only allow for communication for long distances, but also the transmission of energy wirelessly, which is not emphasized in this story. They keep referring to it as a form of Wi-Fi before its time, but it's really much more than that. Something I think that's a little misleading in the story. J.P. Morgan dropped Tesla's funding because he could not see a way to make money delivering electricity wirelessly. It's sort of the same reason we can't have widespread solar and wind power today. The aliens in this episode were again xenomorph-like, resembling giant scorpions this time. While they were cool looking, I think the insect arachnid thing is done a little too much, especially in the Chibnall era. Their queen, played by Anjali Mohindra, sorry if I said that wrong, was reminiscent of the Empress of Arachnos from the David Tennant Doctor Who episode Runaway Bride. Anjali Mohindra, without her heavy prosthetic makeup from this episode, is the lovely actress who played one of Sarah Jane's young friends named Ronnie on the Sarah Jane Adventures series. Am I the only person that watched the Sarah Jane Adventures and wanted her friend Ronnie to have one of those chameleon arch fob watches and turn into the Ronnie, the Time Lord villain from the classic era of Doctor Who? Now that we have a South Asian master, I don't think they'll allow the Ronnie to come back as a South Asian person. But again, I digress. Also, I thought it would have been better for the aliens to look like a hodgepodge of things, kind of like Morbius from the classic episode, The Brain of Morbius, as they were scavengers that used all various forms of ill-gotten tech. Perhaps their bodies themselves could look like they came from an eclectic array of aliens. I believe that the Doctor even has a bit of dialogue with the Queen where she recognizes that all the Queen's body parts are from other aliens. Again, like in Orphan 55, it's just a lazy reuse of the same type of creature designs. Comparatively speaking, the Chibnall era has been so poor that I was just happy that this episode was mildly entertaining, got most of the history right, and generally made sense. I was hoping for a little more epic story since Tesla was such a major inventor, but I'll take what I can get. I was also glad that they didn't make Edison a total villain. While he did have a bad reputation of exploiting the people who worked for him, he didn't seem as bad as his buddy Henry Ford. And Henry Ford, who thought he should pay his workers a fair wage, doesn't seem to be as bad as today's CEOs, so it's all a matter of perspective. If Chibnall insists on bringing back historical adventures of Doctor Who, more like this one would be appreciated. So that's all I have to say about this episode. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Subscribe to Spaceman Matt's Sci-Fi vlog today. The fate of the world depends on it, I guess.